When I listen to you, I think so much of our young people, whether they be in America, in China, or on any part of the planet. You talk about education, employment, the difficulty of online classes. You're a father of a number of children as well. Do you think there is a feasible future for young people going forward?
I am a product of a revolution. I left my country, Iran, in the middle of a cataclysmic revolution. I'm by nature an optimist because at that point in time, my world as I knew it ended. I left in a hurry, never looking back, took refuge. I'm sure many people in Hong Kong feel that way when they migrated to the territory after the communist takeover in China in the 1940s. But for us, eventually there was light at the end of the tunnel, and it's very difficult to impart that wisdom on young people. You know, they were already anxious about the world before the pandemic arose. They were worried about being able to breathe the air when they got to my age. They were worried about the economy. A large number of American young people didn't believe that economically they would be as well off as their parents and grandparents. And then on top of it, you have this pandemic, which to young people is sending a message of really the sky is falling, that they're seeing that their lives are much more vulnerable. They're threatened by a healthcare crisis, which was not on their radar at all. On top of it, they're seeing, at least in the West, bungling governments. There's a lack of now trust in leaders and institutions. They have not managed this well. They are not managing it well, and they are not communicating a sense of confidence to the population. And they're also seeing that the economy, at least, that they were hoping to enter is all of a sudden evaporated. So for them, it's a period of great questioning. And I think, you know, once we're done with the height of this issue, dealing with anxiety and psychological impact of this on the next generation will be profound.
I have to push you on one point here because while this may not have been on their radar, it was very much on our radar as citizens, as governments, as a world. How badly have we failed them? Are we a failed world? Are we a collection of failed states?
Well, it's important to take history into account. In fact, Hegel, the famous philosopher, once said, those who ignore the lessons of history are condemned to reliving it. And we're seeing that. But for the average citizen, it's difficult to get them focused on crises that are not tangible to them. So we could talk, maybe in Hong Kong it's different because SARS, what came to be, was much more tangible. But Americans and Europeans never touched SARS unless they happened to be in China, Singapore, or Hong Kong at the time. Koreans understood MERS, but Westerners didn't. So you could talk to younger people or average Americans, average Europeans about the dangers of a pandemic. But it was not tangible. It was not something that they were psychologically or economically prepared for. And I think one of the issues in the United States, for instance, and this is going to be a big political issue, is that the United States still had 2 months head time from when the virus first really became headline news to prepare itself. And it didn't. For varieties of reasons, it didn't. And it was caught flat-footed. So in a way, I would say, this pandemic is almost like a stress test for political institutions and social institutions around the world.
The China Current continues its special coverage on the coronavirus outbreak. Go to our social media @The China Current and our website for interviews, videos, and podcasts. I'm James Chau. Thank you.